Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors and sponsored by Paychex, one of the leading providers of HR, payroll, retirement, and software solutions for businesses of all sizes. My name is Steve Boese. How the CEO of tech company Dropbox is bucking the return to office trend. CEOs of all kinds of companies, especially in tech and finance, have spent the last year or plus revising or even rescinding the blanket work-from-home policies that were almost universally adopted during the pandemic era. Even Zoom, the tech company that is most synonymous with remote working, directed its employees back to in-person work at its headquarters for at least 2 days per week. And more companies have seemed to roll back on their hybrid working schemes, which employees generally prefer to be about half the time in person and half remote. They've increased the number of days per week or month that workers are required to be in the office. And recently, Dell Technologies dropped a hammer on remote workers, indicating they would not be eligible for future promotions at the company if they remained fully remote. But one CEO, Drew Houston of Dropbox, does not agree with fellow CEOs in pushing for a return to in-person work and the ideas about work that were prevalent prior to 2020. Houston said in a recent interview that CEOs keep mashing the go back to 2019 button and they see it is not working. Then they just push harder and then you have this really toxic relationship. Rather, Houston says, more flexible firms like his own will steal talent from firms that are instituting the draconian return to office mandates. And he says, time will tell if forcing workers back to the office is a good way to recruit and retain talent. Now that years of remote working have shown that employees can be productive, successful, and happier in remote working environments, it's simply not possible to go back to the past, and it's bound to be destructive to company culture. That's why at Dropbox, they've rebranded how they view their 2,600 employees. Houston states Dropbox sees their employees as customers and offers value propositions that people want to buy into. While employees are mostly, at about 90%, remote, collaborative opportunities like retreats and company offsites work to bring people together when needed and to recharge their need to connect with their colleagues. More recently, some data indicates CEOs are leaning back from additional calls for in-person work. A KPMG survey of very large companies showed that only 1/3 of CEOs expect a full return to the office in the next 3 years. Additionally, most CEOs surveyed said the future of work is hybrid, and only a very small percentage believe that office workers will be back in person 5 days a week. As for Dropbox, they continue to embrace and believe their remote-first philosophy. It has allowed them to compete more effectively for talent against the likes of Microsoft and Google, as well as others in the technology industry who have clawed their workers back to the office. The remote versus in-person debate will continue in American workplaces, and we will keep following those stories here. And we'll continue to cover all the important topics and trends in the world of work here on the HR Happy Hour Media Network. That's it for the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors.